Welcome, dear friends, to our time of devotional reflection for Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. I'm Brian J. Munro, pastor of Kitimat First Baptist Church in beautiful Kitimat, British Columbia. This year, we are following John MacArthur's devotional book, Drawing Near, Daily Readings for a Deeper Faith. Today's entry is entitled, Learning from Judas, in brackets, Judas Iscariot. Matthew chapter 10, verse 4. The 12 apostles included Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. Our main thought for today is God can use even an apostate like Judas to teach us some important lessons. Pastor MacArthur writes, Judas is history's greatest human tragedy. He had opportunities and privileges known only to the other disciples, but he turned from them to pursue a course of destruction. Yet even from his foolishness, we can learn some important lessons. Judas, for example, is the world's greatest example of lost opportunity. He ministered for 3 years with Jesus himself, but was content merely to associate with him, never submitting to him in saving faith. Millions of others have followed his example by hearing the gospel and associating with Christians, yet rejecting Christ. Tragically, like Judas, once death comes, they too are damned for all eternity. Judas is also the world's greatest example of wasted privileges. He could have had the riches of an eternal inheritance, but instead chose 30 pieces of silver. In that respect, he is also the greatest illustration of the destructiveness and damnation greed can bring. He did an unthinkable thing, and yet he has many contemporary counterparts in those who place wealth and pleasure above godliness. On the positive side, Judas is the world's greatest illustration of the forbearing, patient love of God. Knowing what Judas would do, Jesus tolerated him for 3 years. Beyond that, he constantly reached out to him and even called him friend after his kiss of betrayal. Matthew 26, verse 50. Jesus replied, "Do what you have come for, friend." Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. If you've ever been betrayed by a friend, you know the pain it can bring. But the Lord's pain was compounded many times over because he knew ahead of time that he would be betrayed, and because the consequences were so serious. Yet he endured the pain because he loved Judas and knew that his own betrayal was a necessary part of the redemptive plan. The sins that destroyed Judas are common sins that you must avoid at all costs. Use every opportunity and privilege God gives you, and never take advantage of his patience. Dear friends, I thank you once again for spending just a few moments with me, listening as I read Pastor MacArthur's devotional ideas and thoughts. I recorded his suggestions for prayer and for further study in the description portion of this video, and I strongly recommend that you take the time to read through those and follow what he suggests. It will deepen your walk with Christ. And until we can be together again to explore another devotional reflection from John MacArthur, I bid you go in the peace of the Lord.